We're less than 24 hours away from the estimated date of the Bitcoin halving event. What does this mean for the price of Bitcoin? How is the price action looking right now? And what can we expect over the next couple of months? Let's go into all of that and more in today's video. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess, and as the channel name suggests, it's all about crypto, trading, and technical analysis. So if you're all about that or you'd love to learn, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Alrighty guys, so diving right into the price action of Bitcoin, it has been a pretty bearish week overall moving into the halving. As expected, we are going to have lots more volatility and indecisiveness just because this halving event is probably the most widely anticipated halving event that we've had in all of our 4-year cycle so far. So naturally the price is going to move up heaps moving into the halving, and then around the date of the halving we're going to start to see some chop up and down as people start to react or just emotionally react to the actual event itself. But as of right now, and as of this week, we started off the week with some pretty bearish news. We had that attack from Iran on Israel, and naturally geopolitics, any sort of conflict and war is going to bring all asset markets down, and that is what we saw. So we moved all the way down to $60,000, and now that is our key high time frame range of support. So on a weekly chart on Bitcoin here, we can see that $60,000, this red box here, is our key range of support right now, and dropping below that range of support would mean a massive continuation downwards to these lower levels over here. So that would take us around that $52,000 range, which would be a massive drop. But for now, we're still holding within that range. So on the shorter time frames, we've been traveling between $60,000 and $72,000 for about 2 months now, and that is still our current relevant range of consolidation. Most recently, though, we had a deviation low, so a signal of increasing volatility and volume in the market, and then we had a strong reversal. So we can see that the major downtrend that took us from that recent test of $72,000 to $60,000 has now been broken. We also have confirmation as well on the RSI that the momentum has shifted back upwards, so we should be looking to have a move back up to the top of this range. So overall on the short time frame, things are actually looking pretty good, right? So we've had our deviation below $60,000, had a lot of volatility and volume on this level here, and we're bouncing from that high time frame range of support, and we're moving up with a strong reversal trend line back up to these upper ends of this range. So in this upwards move, if we pull up the VRPV, the first level that I would be looking at is clearing a candle close above 63,700. So we can see that peak in the volume there. And then right after that, we have a gap. So right after that candle close, we should get a move to these upper ranges of volume over here. So those are around $68,000 to $69,000. We can see the POC level as well is at 69,300. So that will be a pretty strong level of resistance on the short time frame. And if we zoom in a little bit onto the 4-hour time frame, we can actually get a measured move of this breakout from the most recent segment of price action here. So this most recent segment was a little bit of a descending wedge, and so we can take the measured move of that descending wedge just to get a bit of a gauge on where this breakout should take us if we continue upwards. Okay, so the measured move from the top of that wedge to the base of the wedge takes this estimated breakout from that breakout point to just below that POC level over here. So that's around $68,500. So that's just at this volume level over here. If we pull up the VRPV again on the 6-hour time frame, we can see that is the peak right there on that volume profile. So that is the next level that we should be looking to target on the very short time frame. But overall, it's looking good on the short time frame. Looks like there will be a reversal back upwards after this deviation low, which is good to see. Now let's move on to the main topic of this video, so the macro charts and the Bitcoin halving event. So the date of the next Bitcoin halving event is set, or the date and time is set for 11:45 tomorrow morning on the 20th of April. And it's a pretty famous event, but if you don't really know what it means, essentially all it does is that it affects the supply of Bitcoin. So naturally with every single asset, if supply goes down and demand stays stable or it increases even, the price of that asset is going to drive upwards, right? Because decreasing supply and increasing demand, yada yada, right? So every single 4-year cycle, we tend to have that halving event, and the supply over the next period is significantly reduced. And because of that, after every single halving event, we generally have a very, very bullish cycle, or very, very bullish period within the 4-year cycle, sorry. So over here on BLX, we can see every single historical halving event that we've had. You can pull it up using this indicator over here. It's called Pi Cycle Bitcoin High/Low. And the halving events are indicated by these yellow dotted lines over here. So we can see immediately after the halving event, or that first year to year and a half after the halving event, we generally tend to reach a new all-time high in the price of Bitcoin. And we can see that currently April, that is our current month for the next halving. We can also see that generally the months of the halving, or in this case, the month right before it as well, are generally red months. And so for this can happen for a couple of reasons, but specifically in this cycle, because it is such a widely anticipated and famous event known for driving the price upwards for Bitcoin, I think the accumulation happens prior to the halving event. So, right, the market tends to reflect what the price, what they expect the price to be, and then the date of the halving or the month of the halving, we tend to see some drawbacks, so some emotional selling or some trading and increased volatility because it is the month of that really highly anticipated event, right? So on the month that happens, we're going to see a little bit more chop, and so generally we tend to see a red month. And the reason why this cycle has had such a massive drawback in the month of the halving is, again, I think because of how much more widely anticipated this halving event has been. Cryptocurrency has never been so widely adopted than it is right now. Earlier this year, we had the Bitcoin ETFs get approved as well. So all of that kind of stuff is going to be driving the price upwards as more and more people accumulate prior to this really, really anticipated event. So going back to the short time frame and having a look at how this might affect the price of Bitcoin over the next couple of weeks. So we have our monthly candle close in about 2 weeks, right? So 12 days, we have a monthly candle close. And so we're going to see a continued amount of chop and volatility. So yes, on the short time frame, we have broken out of this downtrend, but because that date of the halving is tomorrow and we're going to be expecting some more volatility, the market might do some pretty unexpected stuff. It's going to probably, yes, right now it looks like it should be going up. But what I wouldn't be surprised to see is another deviation below $60,000 as one last flush before we finally get our moves upwards. We also know that after the date of the halving, so on that monthly candle close, we generally have some green months, right? So going back to BLX, that's generally the last red month, the last couple of red months that we have within that next period in the cycle. So over here we have 2 green months. That's about 26% move upwards before we get a little bit of red. Back in 2016 as well, we moved about 30% before we got this really small red candle over here. So we can expect some green price action after the halving event, the months after, but in the very short time frame, do expect some volatility and some chop and potentially a deviation back below the $60,000 level before we get any sort of strong breakout over here. Alrighty guys, that is it for the analysis for today. If you enjoyed the video or you learned something, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down below. If you want to see more of my content, I do have a free Telegram channel where you guys can get daily Bitcoin updates as well as crypto and economic news. If you're interested in my VIP channel, you can check out more details over here. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trade setups, including entry points, stop losses and targets, as well as trade justifications and a risk management and trading journal. If you are a trader, don't forget to sign up down below to Bitget and BingX to get 15% off your trading fees. Hope you guys have a really great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!